Time to get revenge. Alright. Made sure to do everything first this time. I got the Monster Finder open so I don't get stymied later on. How bad were the past seeds? Not great. The first one wasn't the worst, but it wasn't great either. And then the second one was just really rough. Yeah, I had to do one of the very rare mercy kills. I don't do those often. I think I know this rando pretty well, but oof. Anyways, play Tsukihime. Maybe that's why. I don't remember if I told people to play Tsukihime last time. That could have been why. That could have been why I failed, because I didn't fulfill the contract. It's been about a month anyway, so it's about the usual time. I tend to run these once per month. Alright, so it is no longer Labor Day, which means I'm allowed to stream. I wanted to take a day to myself yesterday. I figured, it's Labor Day, why not? He's an exchange student. Where is he from? I believe that's only in the English version of the game that he's an exchange student. Whereas in the Japanese version, he is in Japan, he lives in Japan. Was born there, presumably. They don't really talk a whole lot about Soma's backstory, despite the fact that he is the reincarnation of Dracula. Spoilers. It just kind of is there. Alright. So we're going to time these runs. That could also be why I didn't do very well last time, because I didn't time them. There was no pressure. There was no penalty for loss. Alright, so this seed's going to be Leaf Leash, Black Panther, Death Robe, all in first room, and then we're going to get all the books we need and all the souls we need in succession. Let's go. I played all the DS-Vanias. I didn't really care for Dawn as much as Arya, I should say. I do like the change they did. Apparently, I think it was an M2 port, so they do pretty good stuff. They made it so, like the DS, where it splits the screens. They have both of they have the map and the stat screen available at the same time now, because it's a widescreen aspect game, so they have lots of space. Yeah, you get some funny stuff if you skip the cutscenes, which this rando lets you do by default. Or, what's her name? Yoko getting stabbed and just teleporting directly to the floor. Soma would never punch Mina. Actually, that's a plot point in Dawn of Sorrow. If anything happens to Mina, he goes apeshit and actually becomes Dracula. Yeah, they changed the sigils. They added like a controller emulator for the like stylus stuff. Very much, the sigils were very much just a, we're on the DS, we have to do something with a touchscreen, how do we shoehorn that in? Nobody liked the sigils. Nobody was like, oh boy, I love drawing lines after a boss fight, and if I fail I have to do the boss fight again. Alright, Black Panther, right? That's not Black Panther. That's not Black Panther. I got trolled. I got trolled a little bit. Yep. I might as well slap on flying armor now, because I'm going to need it in a few rooms from now. spent most of yesterday just playing some Warframe. Like, I probably could get set up to start doing Deep Archimedia, but it's still kind of like you would have to really, really, really push hard to have the build assembled by the end of the week, which I don't really want to do right now. Yeah, Milliken's Sword is... it's alright. Creaking Skull. Oh wait, what am I doing? Only have enough juice for one charge of that. Milliken's Sword, it's decently strong, but it makes you have to multi-tap enemies. It's probably better than the Rapier right now, at least. But eventually, like, it just kind of falls off in usefulness. Ooh, Latkes. I'm also, very much finding out how it is very difficult to just start your own clan from scratch with no other assistance in Warframe. Because you need Forma for, like, every single blueprint, basically, in the, like, in the dojo, to get the clan tech stuff, and you need to build an Oracle, but you also need to build a reactor, but then you also need to build connector rooms, so by the time you actually get to start building any labs, you've already spent like, 4 or 5 Forma. So unless you're really, really, really diligent about running relics as soon as they pop up, chances are you're gonna bleed yourself dry if you don't have friends to help out. So would not recommend. Oh, this is the other thing I don't like about Milliken's Sword. When you do get the killing blow, you have to double tap. That's what I was talking about. And the stone statues still do count as hurting you. Like, this week, Deep Archimedia is... one of the frames available is Titania, which is one of my more invested frames, and, you know, she has the exalted weapons. So you don't have to worry as much about the other loadout, but it's still important. And then I don't remember what the modifications were, like the rules for that set of runs were. I wish they... I hope at some point they let you do arcane mods and exalted weapons. Because you just can't do that, and it kind of sucks. There's some really nice arcanes now. Flesh Golem. But yeah, I just figured I'll do Netracells instead. Netracells are kind of the alternate to Deep Archimedia. Oh, you got Octavia, nice. I've had a couple runs in, what's it called, the circuit with Octavia. It's always very funny. Like, oh, I need guns? Do I have to shoot guns? Octavia is so broken. The problem is you don't really have to play the game at higher levels, aside from just keeping your cloak buff up. That's kind of silly. You're fighting dudes that are level, like, 8,000, and they're just killing themselves on your thumper. Come on. Come on, Soma. I know you can do it. And I know we can do this. It's possible. It's a pretty awesome ball. It plays music. The other thing I don't like, I simultaneously like really enjoy and really dislike playing Octavia. Because the mechanic of like playing along with a beat, you know, it's pretty fun. It's a thing that doesn't really exist in other games for the most part. Like, we built an entire frame around being able to compose your own music that's used to battle with, that your little thumper, your little roller plays, and also you get bonuses if you do actions to the beat of the song that you composed. But then in practice it just ends up becoming, okay, just put a note on every line because it's a lot easier to hit in the fight, just randomly, you know? But honestly, I kind of like that. I kind of enjoy just having this one really weird bespoke system. It's a lot more interesting than just frame that does, you know, damage, a little bit of crowd control, a little bit of defense. Just does its own completely unique thing. Probably shouldn't be stopping to fight everything, honestly. My favorite, my other favorite weird bespoke system was, I think it was Chroma, where her Eclipse ability was based on the lighting that you were currently in. But the lighting, like the buff you would get from being in the light or the darkness, would depend on not only the area you're in, but also which renderer you were using. Like if you used a different renderer, your stats, your buff would actually change. I think they did eventually change it to just hold versus tap because it was just way too inconsistent. Or no, that was Mirage, sorry, Chroma. I always mix up Mirage and Chroma. Chroma's the dragon with like 2 good abilities and then 2 really weird mid abilities. Chroma needs a rework. The only reason people really use Molt is for credits. The credit bonus for killing Orb. Broke that ability, so they had to change it. Yeah, it makes sense. Honestly, just having something that's more in control of the player as well. Because it was real awkward being like, oh yeah, there's a light area, and then haha, you got the darkness buff, actually. I think most people ended up using the damage anyways. Because the damage buff meant you got more ticks on, what's it called, on Prism. Prism, which is a hilariously strong ability if you set it up right. Just never get hit. This past week I had Invigorated Protea. I think it was like a bonus 100% ability duration. So I just had, I had the temporal anchor turrets that were lasting like 30 seconds, which is absolutely wild. Originally I thought that the temporal anchor, the one that like attaches the turrets to her, I thought it wasn't going to scale super well in the Steel Path, but it turns out it actually does pretty damn well. Because if you slap both augments on, you're doing armor strip and you're also dealing like just the heat damage, you're getting Archon Vitality, you're getting double heat procs. And the turrets are always a forced heat proc, which means you can do a lot of damage with them. Oh hey, another Milliken sword. Oh look, a free iPad! No. Oh no, that ghost came pre-stoned. I apologize if you've never played Warframe and you're just having no fucking idea what I'm talking about. What the fuck is temporal anchor? Fuck is temporal erosion? What are you talking about? Oh, I want that. I want that. Oh, I don't have double yump. That'd actually be really nice. I think that's a Kunitsuna. Possibly a Yasutsuna. But yeah, I've been still keeping up with the Warframe stuff. Turns out the game is still quite fun. And unlike Destiny 2, they don't remove content. Actually, I might just keep Air Knees for now. God, I'm still mad about Destiny, man. Just the entire campaign, you know, the one that I bought on the game's release. The entire campaign and the raid for the Leviathan, that's all gone now. You just can't play those anymore. I didn't realize you could stone this guy. I guess it is considered a regular enemy. I need to switch back to Skeleton, or Wing Skeleton real quick. Because I don't think I have any vertical swinging weapons. Ooh. Okay, okay. We don't have a backdash cancel, but I think it is just better than, what's it called? Gungnir is not a vertical swing weapon. Gungnir is a spear. But it is a better weapon than Milliken's sword. Oh, Red Minotaur, yeah. Yeah, it's a vertical swinging weapon that I don't even know if I can cast it. I don't think I have enough MP. Red Minotaur is a very expensive soul. Very expensive. Ugluff. Honestly, I think it's a little overpriced. Now, if I don't get a double jump here, I gotta remember to come back. Yeah, I'll slap on a golem. 12 extra strength on a multi-hit weapon. Quite nice. Your double jump, right? Hey. I don't know that it's really worth going back for the vertical swing sword right now. A rare ring, actually. Yeah, sure, I'll switch out the black belt. Rare ring in the context of randomizer doesn't necessarily mean you're going to find better items, it just means you're going to find their quote-unquote rare drop more often. But unlike luck, it actually works, so... I also finally got my first Arcane Energize in Warframe. I'm meta now. Now I just have to farm, what is it, like 18? How many do you need to max out an Arcane? Is it 18 or 15? God, that's always hilarious, just seeing people recommend builds to new players. For people who aren't familiar with Warframe, Arcane Energize is a very powerful modification that you can slap on any of your Warframes. And it gives you a lot more energy, which is used to cast abilities and do stuff, but it is also very, very difficult to access. And if you get it all on your own, requires a lot of fighting the same bosses over and over and over. So whenever somebody includes it in a build that's geared towards, like, newer players, you can tell they have never... Like, they don't actually give a shit about new players. They're just like, oh yeah, I have it, so I'll use it. It's kind of the equivalent of, like... it'd be like saying, you know, just use a relic weapon in FF14 when going through an expansion. Alright. Am I still using casual clothing? Oh no, we have the silk robe. I'll take the defense. Silk robe is alright, I have the int boost patch on. Yeah, Prime Sure-Footed is the other one. I'm kind of surprised they haven't really changed that yet. Or like giving it to Barrow or something. I should probably actually save. Like, Prime Sure-Footed is a really nice quality of life thing, but... there's like literally... You can't even... Can you trade that mod? I don't know if you're allowed to trade it. I can't imagine they would let you trade it, because then people would just roll up like a billion alt accounts. Although they are pretty careful about making sure you don't interact with different accounts, like on the same machine. Ah, the famous blade known as Graham. So I think the rule for alt accounts in Warframe is like, as long as they're not interacting with each other, you're fine. Yeah, Prime mods I think are 1,000,000 credits each, which, you know, for Prime Sure-Footed, that's pretty alright, but not terribly difficult to get 1,000,000 credits compared to Prime Sure-Footed. Problem is, I mostly played my Warframe before they added in the daily login rewards, and they didn't retroactively give you anything for logging in. So I definitely would have Prime Sure-Footed already, except for the fact that most of my playtime was before they tracked it. I think I'm only at like 230 days right now, technically, so... Yeah, no Prime sure-footed for me for at least the rest of the year. Actually, no, because that would be what? Yeah, no, that wouldn't even be enough. It wouldn't be until the new year. And that's assuming I log in every single day religiously. I did get my Helminth up to rank 15, so if I really wanted to start going for, like, Forma farming, I could do that now. Because at Helminth 15, you get an ability that tells you if there's, like, a rare container or resource hidden in the level somewhere. Like an Itan sculpture or one of the really rare resource barrels. Because it is technically possible to farm fully built Forma, it's just very difficult. I also got a bite mod on the weekend, which is one of those mods I've been looking at for a while. Like, I've kind of wanted one, but at the same time, it's not like my, like, the Kavats are not doing a ton of damage. So it hasn't been, like, a huge priority. It's just one of those things that's kind of nice to have, but not, like, mission critical. The problem is, Bite is a comically rare mod. You have to farm a specific mission type that is... It's either like a 1 in 12,000 drop chance from a specific enemy, which isn't super rare, but it only shows up in one tile set. Or you run sabotage missions, and you have to make sure you're getting all the bonus resource catches, which are kind of hidden. And most people don't really want to bother with that, so... If you want to buy a Bite mod, I think it's like 60 platinum. But I got a nice little Titania set up for like really fast speed running. I think it's like a 3% drop chance from the from getting all 3 caches on Earth Sabotage specifically. If you don't have like a speed frame, if you don't have like a Titania or something, then I honestly wouldn't bother. If you have the ability to start getting platinum, and you really want a Bite mod, I would say just do that. Because the other problem is, you're not really getting a whole lot while you're doing that. Like, I equipped an Oxalis so I can scan passively some of the resources while I farm that. Because eventually then I can start doing, like, the Apothec farming, which is another way to get some of the mods that are a huge pain in the ass to get otherwise that most people don't bother with. And then if I get them, I can sell them for some bonus platinum. And then Growing Power is the big one. That's the one that everybody wants. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get. Black Panther? Aw. Oh no, it's an aura, not a regular mod, sorry, but it's still pretty important. Thankfully, you can use Necros to get a chance at a second mod drop from the Spectre that drops it. It's not a difficult boss fight at all. It's literally just you fight like a baby Spectre like you would in any of the rails, so as long as you're decently geared up, you'll be fine. Alright. What do you got? Jaya. Honestly, kind of similar to the Gungnir. Osfune, Muramasa. Well, he's got all the good armor. Problem is I don't really have... Like, I could sell Gungnir, but then... That's my good weapon. I think we just buy some healing items. Oh wait, it doesn't even have any healing items. That's wild. I don't think I've ever had a hammer that wasn't selling healing items. Wow. Warframe has a lot of, like, weird... There's, like, only one specific way to get this mod, and it's such a pain in the ass that you're just gonna end up paying platinum. Or you'll just, like, randomly hit the 1 in 12,000 chance drop rate one day from just a random enemy. Thankfully, very few of them are, like, you know, required for anything. Like, I think the stance mods for the glaives, because I got Glaive Prime the other day. They don't really get used for their moves, it's mostly just to add some extra mod capacity to the weapon, which you could overcome with Forma. But yeah, the actual stance mods for glaives are kind of very difficult to find. Actually, now that I have a proper Volt Prime setup, I need to start looking at Sabotage and seeing what other rewards I can get from that. Because I remember, like, I think there was something I needed from from Defection. Like, something that I needed, and I just can't remember what it was. I didn't bother farming it because I didn't have the Volts built up at the time. It's one of those mission types that really benefits from having a Volt because they can make the target go faster. Warframe is a very cyclical game. You realize, oh, I need something, and then you look up how to do that, and it turns out if you want to do that the best way, you start getting a different frame and working on something else. So you have a lot of goals to work on at the very least. Oh, there's... I can't actually get that book. I don't have... Oh, no, I do have Slide. I love that I kicked the ghosts, leveled up, and also took damage on the exact same frame. Actually got really lucky, speaking of things to do, this past week in my Netracell runs. I got, I think 4 out of 5 shards. Which obviously you get better if you do Deep Archimedia, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. I was talking about that earlier. Don't really want to invest a ton of resources to try and, like, rush to get a build together by the end of the week, so... Like, I want to get one of every Prime frame eventually. Just so I can do stuff like that, where it's like, you know, you get, you either have to do it for Deep Archimedia, or you can get bonuses if you're playing, like, Arbitrations, and you get, like, a bonus to playing a specific frame. Weapons, not so much. Also for Circuit, it's nice to have a properly built-up frame. Yeah, apparently, like, you get a bunch of Archon shards. I'm not quite up to EDA, though. Or at least not reliably. Probably gonna be 1 week where it's like, oh, you can just use, you know, Najah, and you can have your best weapons. You know, you can use a Latum, you can use Fenmore, Enodem. That day is not now. Ooh. Yeah, like I don't want it to be a you know, wait until the thing you have. Is there something left here? No, I'm thinking of the other room. You don't want to wait until you get lucky the 1 week and get something you've already built. I'm also finally getting Waybounds for the focus tree. But for the longest time, I just didn't really want to get the Brilliant Eidolon shards, and then it turns out you don't actually have to do the entire capture thing for all the Eidolons. You can literally just do one and leave, and it's actually way faster than trying to get all 3 of them. Obviously, if you want the Arcanes, yes, you'll have to do all of them, but... Oh, right, so we got Flying Skeleton. But, like, just doing the one Terra List or whatever, the first one is super simple. It's a lot easier to grind them now that all the Thrax units give you focus. When you do your Steel Path circuit runs, chances are you'll probably just get your daily cap of focus doing that. Oh, Tsuchinoko real. He spit it on me. He spit it on me. You are late. Not a terribly fast run to start, though. How abysmal? The last few runs, the first one took like an hour and a half, and the second one I had to mercy kill. Because I was deep in Chaos Realm, and I think there was only like one other check that I'd missed. I don't kick, do I? No. I got Whenever I get, like, Protea in my... what's it called? In my circuit runs, it's always basically just, like, you get, like, a free, you know, 5 to 10 rounds. Because, like, man, Protea is just so good at almost every aspect of circuit. Like, Najah is usually my comfort frame for just never dying, but he's not really great at defense, which is, like, 2 of the objectives in circuit. Between defense and excavation, need a good way to defend an area, and Najah isn't... like, he has some CC, but you're not going to be killing Eximus units or Thrax. And I also subsume that off because it's rare that I'm using Najah for CC. Yeah, Concord is... I feel bad. At the same time, I had not heard of the game before until people were just like, oh wow, they're releasing Concord on the same day as Deadlock lifting NDA, huh? Deadlock's cool, it's just my computer kind of sucks at running it. When things get very intense, my frame rate starts to chug, and that's kind of bad for, you know, an action MOBA. Okay, there's Undine. Ooh. Please be Auroch suit. Oh! It's better than the Iron Plate, I guess. Hey, come over here. Hey, come over here. Hey. Like, I'm not sure how much of that is just because, you know, they're still in very, very early beta/alpha. Hey, Black Panther, nice. And how much of it is just my computer being old. Probably a combination of both, but... I'd love to get a Black Panther on today. Apparently Frost is also really good, talking about, like, defensively oriented frames. You gotta rework, apparently, so I'll try him out. Because I think Frost Prime was actually my first Prime, I think when they gave him away. But, I've never really used him because by the time I got him, like, that was kind of when I had burnt out on the original Warframe gameplay, where it's mostly just, like, you run defense missions for 40 minutes because that was the best way to get anything in old Warframe. Yeah, they made a lot of the damage types that weren't, you know, viral a lot better. Apparently Blast is pretty solid now. You can get, like, AoE on weapons that would have been previously, like, just single target only before. Blast was kind of a meme before. Tap. The problem is a lot of the old builds that I have set up are still for viral, which is totally fine for most content. But I know for stuff like the new area, like the Murmur, the Sanctum Anatomica, they explicitly resist viral. Like, you want to use, I think, electricity? I don't remember if radiation is also good. Oh yeah, they're resistant to viral and slash, aka the most meta damage types. As it turns out, when enemy HP scales up into the millions, the best way to get rid of those millions of HP is with percentage-based damage, or things that just explicitly reduce a percentage of their maximum HP. They are weak to radiation. Makes sense. Because that's also when they introduced Corvex, right? Radiation frame. Well, the second radiation frame, poor Oberon. Oberon just sitting there be like, come on guys, I did radiation too! Hey guys, come on! Oberon's weird. Oberon's in a weird spot right now. Oberon has just had his lunch eaten by everybody. Because, like, I think Smite Infusion is basically the only thing. Hallowed Ground is kind of whatever. I don't even remember what his fourth ability is called. Renewal is okay, but it's not like... It's not hard to get health anymore. I think it also makes you immune to status, which is alright. But again, it's... You know, we have Rolling Guard. We have pretty good defense mods now. God, Rolling Guard is actually kind of cracked. Not gonna bother with what's it called here. Hard time wobbling up. There we go. What is he like? What does Smite even do on its own? Is it just like a little bit of damage and radiation proc without the augment? Because I think that's the only situation which I ever used Smite. Like I think he had a niche as an Eidolon killer. Yeah, there's Skulla. Actually, no, I think we gotta go this way, right? Because Eidolons, I think their weakest, like their biggest weakness to damage type was specifically radiation, so he had a niche there where you would build, like, I think a Rubico Prime for radiation, then either play as Oberon or have an Oberon in your squad, but now you can just get Volt. Corrosive is solid, but it's not quite as necessary anymore. Like, it's still helpful because Armor Strip is still good, it's just that Armor Strip is now no longer, like, quite as mission critical at higher stages. And on its own, Corrosive, I don't think was stripping armor quite as much as, you know, a full Armor Strip frame was. Now, Viral, on the other hand... Viral was comically good compared to the others. Actually, I'll take this healing. But yeah, they did rework a bunch of the damage types a while back. It was actually worth using things that aren't slash and viral. They're still good. Yeah, exactly. Like there's more wiggle room in what you bring with you. I don't really know that I need to bother picking this up. I'll just sell it for cash, I guess. Viper is a connoisseur of randos. I'm sad I never finished off. I feel bad about not doing the rest of the Link to the Past Ocarina of Time rando run, but honestly, I just need more practice with that. We can actually do the bonus room. Oh, right, you need to equip Skulla. Stinky. Oh, he was just on your stream, hell yeah. Did you win, Dubs? Did you draw your OCs the best? And a giant trophy came out of the screen that says you're the best at drawing your OCs? I hope you did. God, you wish? Oh no. Well, if it's any consolation, Dubs, you're the best at drawing your OCs in my heart. They put spikes in a clock. They did surgery on a grape. Oh, come on. Maybe you can get in touch with Voix and he can make you a Dubs draws his OCs the best award. Dubs OCs are Peruvian Waterfall Award. I checked this already, right? Yeah. To be fair... They're pretty cool. You draw some nice stuff in general. Yo, shout outs to Dubs. I'm gonna eat a time penalty just to shout out my boy Dubs. You're worth it. Oh, he's so nice. He's so goddamn nice. My PB, my PB. PB was never happening as soon as it took half an hour to get Black Panther. Spoiler alert. I think my PB was like 40-something minutes, and that was because I got Cleve, Salish, and Black Panther like the first 2 rooms. It's hard to do much better than that. Not impossible, but very hard. Let's heal up before we fight death. Whenever I see the words "to be fair" now, I just think of that one bit from Letterkenny. To be fair. It's gonna be weird this Christmas not having any Letterkenny to watch. Any new Letterkenny? Can I quad hit with this, actually? Letterkenny's a very good show if you can deal with the way they talk. It is a very specific way of talking that is a lot more relatable if you grew up in a small town in Ontario like me. Maybe not so much otherwise. I don't know. Actually, I'll just keep this. Really wish I had a backdash. Backdash would be quite poggers gaming right now. This week I went for the, you know, this guy hasn't talked about Warframe enough. He's going to talk about it some more. This week I went for the bow Incarnon, not because it's like meta or anything, but apparently it gets very fucking huge when you Incarnon mode it. The problem is I don't actually have bow prime. So it'll probably just stay in my back pocket forever until they finally rotate bow prime back in. It's like people getting hyped for, you know, Warframe, getting Saren Prime or Octavia. I think Octavia is back in the rotation now, actually. Getting like one of the quote-unquote meta Warframes and weapons, and then I'm just out here being like, oh man, Bow Prime is back, hell yeah. Actually, is this faster to leave? Yeah, because we can go back to the main castle. Yeah, we gotta go underwater now. Underwater. So I remember enjoying Wukong when he gets out the stick, but the problem is that the stick is very weak. Yeah, if you have a bunch of if you have a bunch of vaulted stuff, potentially some of it can be very valuable. Like, it's not as bonkers now as how much stuff costs. Oh, that's right, I can sell joyas. There we go. Cool. Well, we're set for armor. Do I want to buy... Yeah, honestly, I'll just buy Death Robe. Vaulted mod. I don't think vaulted mods are really a thing. If you're talking about, like, primed mods, maybe, but... The original event slashing and piercing modifiers? Yeah, maybe. If you go to warframe.market, that site's really useful. You can see, like, how much stuff has sold for. And the nice thing is they have a price history, so you can actually see... Oh, these guys just dropped Kunitsuna. Yeah, like, obviously, you know, check it out and make sure, but... That site is really useful for getting the actual value of something. Like, you can see the history and not just, you know, oh, I want to, I'll buy your, I don't know, Your complete vaulted Excalibur Arcane helmet for 10 platinum. Ha ha ha, that's a good price. Actually, if you have the Arcane helmets, those are probably worth a good amount. Oh, hey, free Vijaya. Nice. Getting a lot of electric weapons this time. Yeah, can't forget this. Raven. Ooh, wet ramen. Well, wetter ramen. You know what I mean, shut up. Like, I have a shit ton of arcane helmets. I could probably get a good amount for those, because I have a couple of the... I think the Rhino one's, like, the most valuable. The one that lets you sprint faster. Actually, maybe I want to switch out to this guy. Oh, this is even stronger, too. Because it's kind of like a similar multi-hit thing, but you can jump cancel it. And I don't have a backdash yet, so that's very nice. Very welcome. No horse taxi. Actually, I need to do this the regular style. Or if you have something like Excal Prime, you can't sell that for money, but you have a status symbol that nobody will ever have again. Oh god. Well, I'm glad I didn't spend any money on weapons. Yeah, I think most of the mods, for the most part, they made mods in general a lot less limited. Because I think they realized how much it kind of sucked missing out on things that were pretty critical. Alright, cool. Well, we've got our weapon for most of the rest of the game. Prime Warframes are a little different because they, like, they are statistically better, but at the same time, it's not like, you know, you're going to be completely unviable if you're not running, you know, Excalibur Prime versus regular Excalibur or even Umbra. Yeah, that's kind of the big thing. Like, how many blueprints do you have? Because if you actually made the frames and you don't have the parts anymore, then that's... or the blueprints for the parts anymore, that's kind of an issue. Because I don't believe you can trade parts, right? You can only trade the blueprints for them. I think it's only specifically arcanes that or arcane helmets that have to be fully built before you can trade them. Alright, cool. We've got Beam Skeleton to hit fire weaknesses. We're in a pretty good spot right now. Definitely don't have to worry about that. But yeah, that's one thing you mentioned earlier, Medibot, is it is like, I do like it as kind of a game where you can just kind of like turn your brain off and play for a bit, but you do tend to spend a lot of time playing. In my defense, yesterday was Labor Day and I was forbidden from working, so I was allowed to play Warframe all day. It's my God-given right. I am seriously considering throwing a potato into like a heck or something on my new account. But at the same time, if I just wait a little bit longer, I could get like, I could start getting some of the pre-potato items from quests and stuff. Like, I don't think I'm anywhere close to doing the sacrifice yet, but if I just hold out, I can get a fully potato Excal for free. And it even comes with Umbra polarities, which are getting a lot more niche these days. Actually, I just realized this is going to be a little awkward because I don't have the flight yet. No! Okay, I can just barely jump on that. Yeah, Clear Leash works against everything except for Julius, basically. Alright, see what's over here. Oh yeah, if you were playing like early Warframe, then it was a very trivial game to kind of solve. And, you know, you could argue it's kind of still similar, but at the same time, it's not like... Sorties are no longer the endgame thing. Sorties are kind of like the introduction to endgame activities. Now they have... I think currently Elite Deep Archimedia is like the highest level regular stuff, like the non-endless stuff in the game. I think enemies are like level 400 in there. So outside of, you know, going for level cap, survival or endurance or whatever. Plus there are rules that say you can only bring these warframes, you can only bring these weapons. There are debuffs that you'll take, so it's not just a matter of, you know, pressing 4 and becoming invincible anymore. I'm honestly kind of glad that I invested a lot in my, what's it called? In my Necromech. Because they're becoming a lot more relevant these days. Like, you can use them in pretty much any Sanctum Anatomica mission. Hey, there's Hippogriff, nice. They're actually really nice for the, what's it called, for Netrocells too. Because you can just ignore most of the debuffs. Like, oh no, I'm taking 2 health damage per second if I'm not killing enemies, oh no. Apparently they're also cooking up something with Railjack. Like, they're gonna bring that back into the fold at some point. Or make it a little more relevant, which is good. I like Railjack. Probably need to ease the barrier of entry a little bit, though. Maybe I'm gonna dip over to the study real quick so I can check the chapel ceiling. You can turn off the weird remarks. You can turn off your guy going, "My Warframe is strong." Or you can keep it on if you really want to. Casually slaughtering like 30 dudes. My Warframe is strong. They still call them ugly. Wasn't that the entire purpose of the Umber quest? That you find value in something that's quote-unquote broken and ugly and take away its pain? Oh shit, these guys are just dropping demon mail? What the fuck? Is that bats? Not that I need to worry too much because I still have plenty of cash. Okay, that was also a book. I think we have all the books, actually. No, I'm missing one book. So that's Allura Une. That is Dead Warrior, I think. Horse. Yeah, that's Dead Warrior. Second one is Allura Une. Okay, yeah, so we just gotta find the first book. Figure out what it is. I did turn off the remarks, the quips. Was there anything else that I missed with Hippogriff? I think we're good. I think we're pretty on point right now. Ow, 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 ow. Ule quip. Ule quip. I don't know why, if it's just like a sleep mode thing, but sometimes my Stream Deck software just closes. Might have to try a fresh reinstall and see if that fixes it. Like, it's usually fine, like, while I'm streaming, it's just that sometimes, you know, I do also use it for other things. It's just really nice, it's just kind of a controlled bank to press buttons to do things automatically. Or one-touch launch a program or whatever, not have to do it through Windows. Sometimes it just crashes. I'm not sure if it's crashing, or if it's trying to do something, or if it just closes on its own after a bit, after you haven't used it. I don't know. Don't know what you want to start with grind-wise. I mean, I guess it kind of... I guess the more important question is, like, what do you want to work towards? Because you said you're done with New War, right? Have you started doing the Angel of the Zariman stuff? Can't forget this. So I would say that's a really good spot to aim for if you're done with New War, because that gives you access to the Molt Augmented and Efficiency Arcanes, which are relatively easy to get. Like, it's more just a time investment than anything else. And they're pretty universally good for a lot of Warframes. Like, it's not nearly as much of a grind as getting Arcane Energize. Plus, then you start getting access to the Incarnon weapons, which are still some of the best in the game. Even though they were introduced, like, I think 2-3 years ago by now? Like, turns out the Latum still fucking bonkers as a weapon. If you want a really, really strong secondary weapon or primary, you've got the Fel... I haven't actually tried the Fel Arcs, but apparently a lot of people swear by that, too. Get working on all of your Incarnon weapons before you start doing Steel Path Circuit. Oh no, that's Holy Elemental, right? I was like, do I want to go for that? But then I remember the red aura usually means, like, evil weapon by Yoko. But in this case, it actually is light elemental. I think I have a dual Toxicist Riven mod, and I've heard that's a pretty solid weapon as well. In the Incarnon. I don't know what the stats on the Riven are, though, so I'd have to probably roll it a bunch. I haven't really looked into Rivens much at all. I think I've got like 500,000 Kuva right now. So I've just been kind of collecting them. Because they will eventually be useful at some point. I mean, factions are good to aim for too. Fortuna gets you access to some pretty solid amps. Which you will want to work on eventually if you want to do the... I mean, Zariman... Ooh, free Final Sword. The Zariman is good to have a good amp for. Like, in most of the pub bounties, you're totally fine, but if you want to do the high level stuff, like Seal Path, you will want a really good amp. The nice thing about Fortuna is that the, it's called the Vox Solaris, the second faction, is a lot easier to do, like the big world boss, compared to the first one. Because it's more just you have to know the mechanics rather than have, you know, a specific loadout to deal with, like, Eidolons, for example. If you want to do Prophet Taker, it's a little different, but if you just want to do the Exploiter, you just need to do the Thermi Fracture stuff, which is trivial, if not time-consuming a little bit. The other nice thing about doing the Zariman stuff is that it gets you access to Thrax enemies, which are another way to kind of passively work on focus. Because before you kind of had to, you know, grind out all the lenses and get all that stuff, which was kind of a bummer. Run ESO over and over to grind focus. Now you can just kind of passively do it, which is really nice. Is it worth coming all the way down here? Chances are no. Gonna find out. Ow, 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 ow. If I didn't already find a Joyeuse as a random drop, I guess that would be good. Actually, this... Honestly, this post... not Malphas, post-Legion area is pretty solid. Getting a Dracula Tunic and Joyeuse is really nice. It's just... We already have a Joyeuse random drop, and we have the Demon Mail... Or not the Demon Mail, we got Death Row. Go off to the arena. If you want to run Exploiter dubs, I can help you run through, and it's like... It's mostly just mechanics, which you don't really have to... Like, I think you'd be fine to do, like, the arachnoids and stuff. So I have a couple of exothermia things. That'll also be really nice to get you materials you'll need for Hildren eventually, if you plan on grabbing her. Because base Hildren is one of the better subsumed. She has pillage, which is really nice. Kind of a pain in the ass to get on your own. But if you want to run some of those at some point, hit me up. Because, like, Profit Taker, you kind of need a pretty solid build. Like, you really need, You don't need, like, the best stuff in the game, but it definitely helps because it's a very high damage fight. Compared to, what's it called? Compared to Exploiter. Where is my Killer Mantle? There we are. You just one-shot these red Minotaurs. Minotaur. Einslef. Actually, I should probably heal. Oh no, I definitely feel you. Like, it's difficult to start branching out when you've been using, you know, 1 or 2 frames for such a long time. If you don't have, I think Neja Prime is currently available in the Prime, like the Unvaulted thing where you can buy the relics with Aya. I think Neja Prime is currently available. I think Neja is probably one of the best overall frames, like you can just build for any kind of content. Because he does a little bit of everything, and he's very, very tanky, so you don't have to worry about dying too much. Because you're in Gun God, so you could also get the Neja base blueprint if you want to try him out, but I want to say Neja Prime is definitely a really solid investment. Wukong as well. Wukong is also available from the clan stuff, but I don't think Wukong Prime is in the rotation right now. I personally prefer Neja over Wukong just because he's a little more active as opposed to just like, okay, well I'm dying, I'm gonna press 2 and become invincible and then not play for a bit to recover HP. Fucking, yep. That old chestnut. Open up Warframe. But yeah, Neja is a great choice. Zephyr's apparently really solid. I haven't played around with her too much. Do I have any multi-hit? I guess Neja works. But Wukong is really solid. Like, he's pretty dang survivable. And his Defy skill makes him pretty tanky. Not quite as much as Neja, I think. But he's also really, really nice for just absolutely demolishing spy missions. Because there are some nice rewards that you can only get from spy missions, so getting Wukong going... I think Wukong is probably the best overall. Like, Titania is probably faster in terms of raw speed, but she doesn't have the ability to bypass lasers and stuff quite as easily, so... You end up with the situation of, you know, triggering an alarm really early on, and then something happens, you get nullified or killed, I don't know. Oh wait, I don't have Giant Bat. I actually have to do this. Do I have Giant Bat? No. Because that's another thing for me, is like thinking about, okay, what subsume abilities are good, because now you have the ability to transfer abilities around Warframes. Ivara is also really good for Spy, she's just a little bit slower for me. Like, I generally value how fast you can get a Spy mission done. And Ivara is pretty good at that. Like, I know there's the augment to let her prowl ignore lasers, which is fine. But, like, Wukong is just so far and beyond everybody else right now. Am I still using Skulla? I think I'm still using Skulla. Yeah, let me try and equip Yep, I had Skulla on this whole time, because I'm smart. Honestly, like, at the end of the day, play what you want. If you just prefer Ivara, then play Ivara. I'm not going to tell you, you know, you have to play Wukong Prime. It's just what I personally prefer. Hey, Zolta, thank you for the raid. We're playing some Aria of Sorrow randomizer. Talking about Warframe a lot. Ugh. Little raid. What game were you up to playing? Playing some randomizer game or just kind of popping in? Or did you hear me talking about Warframe and came in to be like, oh, well, you're doing things wrong? It is funny how, like, anytime... Oh, you were playing Dawn of Sorrow, nice. Or I guess you're playing the collection, yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people probably playing those. I played the randomizers for those a couple of times, but I just generally prefer Aria, the rando. Oh, you got a 75% off coupon? Nice. I think that's the highest it goes, right? I think it's 75% is the highest plat coupon you can get. We still need the last book. Oh, you know what I should actually do before I forget? It is highest? Okay, yeah. Well, if you were planning on buying platinum, this is the time to do it. Actually, what is the best way to get to... Nah, it's probably here. So I was gonna say, we have Chrono Mage. We can do the Galamoth room. Yeah, get that Dominus collection going on. I still think of the DS Vanias. I think I like Ecclesia the best. Ooh, Rune Ring, actually. Yeah, I'll slap that on. We're pretty much good for gear. The only thing I could maybe want is a weapon for Julius, but aside from that, we're fine. I haven't actually, like, I think I spent like 20 bucks on plat when I first started playing, and I got like a 75% off. Glyphs felt like I mean, it's kind of similar. I do kind of like how it's more than just, you know, MP. Like, it's almost kind of a stamina gauge, which is interesting. At the end of the day, you can still just absolutely spam, what's it called? Rapidus Fio, and then, the beam that I can't recall the name of at the moment. I also kind of like the difficulty, like, it's a lot harder. Green Puff and Blood. Yum. Yeah, I think I bought like 1,000 platinum when I first started playing Warframe, and the rest I've just kind of gotten passively by selling stuff. I need to sell I got a bunch of Requiem mods, actually. I finally got an Archiplasmor. I've been meaning to grab one of those for a while. And in the process, you get a lot of Requiem relics, so I need to run the rest of my relics and then sell some of the extra Requiem mods. Wait, is there a 90% off? Oh, but it's only if you haven't played in years and years. There used to be. Yeah, I think the most recent port we have that contains all the Saturn stuff of Symphony of the Night is the PSP game. Or the version that comes with the Castlevania collection on PSP, which is a little aged at this point. I know on consoles they have a different rule where you have to get bonus platinum rather than discounts due to the way they have their storefront set up. Like, they can't offer discounts randomly like that. I think at this point... Can we go to top floor? I think it's top floor time. Highest right now, 75%. Yeah, that makes sense. They probably don't want people not playing the game to try and fish for a 90% coupon. PS4 version had the Maria fight? Really? Oh no, that's right, they did do a port of Soden, didn't they? They did another one. Totally forgot about that one. Yeah, they probably don't want to encourage people to not play the game to get a better sale on Platinum, so that's probably why they removed it. Oh, hey, Galamoth. We can go check the Galamoth room now. Oh, was the Rumble really bad in that one? Never actually played it. I've never played any of the ports of Soten outside the PlayStation version. For whatever reason, the version of Soten on the PSP game was an unlock. Like, you had to get into Rondo of Blood a little bit and find, like, a hidden item in the third stage or something like that. Kinda silly. What I'm secretly holding out hope for is a port of Harmony of Despair. Atlas, Gara, and the rest are Prime Frames, Frost, Mirage, Titania, Yvar, and Rhino. I mean, Titania, I'm biased, but you want to put some resources in Titania, she's not gonna steer you wrong. Do you want to finish a capture mission in 30 seconds? Do you just want to be able to basically do any base star chart mission with very little investment aside from, like, putting stuff into your Dex Pixia mod? Do you want to be the guy that gets immediately to the exit and then has to wait a minute for everybody else to catch up to you? That's Titania. No, Titania is really fun. Ooh, Levitine. There's my Julia's weapon, I think. Okay, there's the last book. This demon is quite terrifying despite... Okay, that's Tiny Devil. So Tiny Devil, Allure Une, and Dead Warrior. I think we're good. Yeah, there's Tiny Devil, Allure Une, Dead Warrior. Cool. Go mode. For gravy. Definitely not going to be like an incredible time because we got Black Panther a little late. A lot of the modern Castlevania franchises, because Konami hasn't actually made a Castlevania game in forever, they're going into like the PS2 games and such for their references. Actually, let me slap on Manticore. Like, I know a lot of the TV series referred to the PS2 stuff. Like, you had Hector and, what's his name? Isaac. It wasn't the same characters from the PS2 games, it's just their names, which were references. Right, Tiny Devil. Yeah, I think Mirror of Fate was the last actual Castlevania game. Dead Warrior. Honestly, Konami is just kind of... I think they've kind of realized if they just give it to other studios to make, they don't have to worry about it anymore. Oh yeah, I guess Haunted Castle is technically a new game, even though it's a remake of an existing one. Do we take those? Well, they don't have the juice to make, like, new proper Metroidvanias, because, yeah, Igarashi is on Bloodstained duty now. Alright, cool, I'm Dracula now. Black Panther. I mean, Konami has made some games. Like, they did... Of all things, they did, like, a new roguelike game based on, I'm blanking on the name. It's a sequel to, like, an old NES game. But they have been making new games. It's just... Most people kind of know them for Castlevania and Metal Gear, and those have been, you know, dead for a bit. From the official sources, at least. That's true, they are doing, Delta. Which, again, is gonna be another remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. I could see them fucking around with the canon, too, because why not? Because Delta's an indicator for change, so they're gonna make it different. Kiefer Sutherland is gonna voice every character now. Have they announced if they're gonna bring back David Hayter for Snake, or they're just gonna get a new actor this time? I don't think they're gonna get Kiefer Sutherland again. That's the one I was thinking of, Ivy. Gets a Fumaden. They should bring Hayter back. Are they going to? We'll see. Where is my Levitine? This seed is definitely better than the other two. We're actually in go mode now. I don't have to get up to the Chaos Dimension to hope. And maybe get the item I need. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Like, I think I know why they did Kiefer Sutherland for... Not Snake either, for MGS5. But man... Yeah, they probably did not need to get him. Yeah, that's right, I can backdash now. Like, does anybody care? Does anybody in here care about spoilers for MGS5? It's honestly, part of it was probably because, like, ooh, I can, you know, have another famous actor friend to add to my repertoire. I guess I'll just say I will talk about the plot of MGS5 if you have not been spoiled on it and you do not want to be spoiled on it. So like the whole conceit in MGS5 is that you're not actually playing as Big Boss. Like they set up to make you think, oh yeah, I'm playing as Big Boss, and then nope. You are playing as some medic who was basically mind freaked to think he was Big Boss. Never living that one down. You play as some combat medic who was facially reconstructed to look like Big Boss, and basically told like, no, you're Big Boss, what are you talking about? Because you get into a plane crash and then 9 years pass. Which actually was just, was it yesterday? The 9 years anniversary for MGS5? But yeah, it turns out you were actually playing as a body double of Big Boss, who was basically mind-controlled, not mind-controlled, but like programmed to think you're Big Boss. And this explains why, you know, you can kill Big Boss twice in the Metal Gear original series. Because it was a body double that you killed. And that's why at the end you have the little tape that says Operation Intrude N313 or whatever it is. And honestly, I don't really hate that as like a plot revelation. It just kind of... It felt like it was working too hard to try and bridge, like... You know, oh, where did Liquid Snake come from? Oh, of course he fought the body double of Big Boss. Yeah, have a good one, Zolta. Well, no, like, it was pretty well known that he was going to be voiced by Kiefer Sutherland from the very beginning. It wasn't like a... Well, it wasn't that he was in on the scheme. It's just that at the end of the game, he just kind of accepts, like, yep, this is who I am now. Been forever since... I mean, I stream these about once a month, so you gotta show up more often. Simply clear your schedule for the day I decide I'm gonna play Aria or Zoro. Because, yeah, Miller was in on it, Ocelot was in on it. But yeah, then they try and do the whole, like, also, you know, Psycho Mantis was here the whole time, and originally he was supposed to, they were supposed to explain how, you know, he survived getting infected, and what's his name got infected by just, he can just zoop the parasites out of your throat. He can just do that. Skulla, not Undyne. I just kind of felt like Psycho Mantis as a kid was it was just kind of there for the sake of having him there. Like, hey, remember MGS1? And then they just never mentioned that ever, ever, ever again in the future. They never talk about, like, hey, you remember that time we fought, like, a proto Metal Gear that was actually more technologically advanced than any of the Metal Gears that would show up in the future? I do think Sahelanthropus was cool as shit. It's kind of a shame. Like, I guess you could argue that the reason he's so overpowered in this game, and then he becomes, you know, haha, funny man who asks if you like Castlevania games. Why am I using the pitch black suit? Did I buy these and never use them? Oh, I'm so smart. I'm so smart. Yeah, a lot of the... They did a lot of the characters from, like, Peace Walker really dirty. I guess they just wanted to kind of get rid of them so they didn't have to worry about them fitting into the canon. Actually, no, I can't use my souls yet. Like, Paz obviously was like, you know, triple, quadruple agent, whatever level she was working on, but like, man. Yeah, originally Chico was supposed to kind of be like Raiden, if I remember correctly. Like, just show up completely fucked up by war and start being like Killer Master Supreme, but they got rid of that. I like Metal Gear when you have Big Boss going to team up with Palcos and fight Rathalos. I'm still waiting for the actual Gear Rex fight in Monster Hunter itself. And don't say they wouldn't, because, come on, Monster Hunter collabs with everything. I mean, they kind of had weird cyber ninjas. It was just the parasite unit instead of a cyber ninja. Yeah, I think I remember seeing they were gonna add Bahamut to Wilds. Hopefully they're not gonna put any instant fail hunt mechanics this time, because that wasn't great with Behemoth. That never felt good. Just slam down a lock key, I guess. I mean, just any female character in MGS5 was like, you know. Why I got the special parasite where she has to wear nothing because otherwise it strangles her. Bahamut wasn't in World, that was Behemoth. But yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. It was kind of just really, really lame. Oh no, sorry, right. It was her parasite is if it gives her superpowers, but then if she talks, she spreads it, which is why she can't talk. Even though, you know, pencils and paper do exist, but we're not going to think about that. If the parasite sees you're writing down on a pencil and paper, it'll also start spreading. Like, I'm willing to suspend disbelief enough for a parasite that activates if you speak a certain language, but, like, she could have just written down something. They covered that by saying, yeah, she refuses to write, but why? She refuses to write on principle, uh-huh. Yeah, like, originally she was still, like, very Skull's-pilled until she starts working for Big Boss, and then, or Venom Snake, I guess, and then realizes, like, oh shit, this guy's actually, trying something different, and eventually he got a little fucked up. It's kind of funny how the whole thing about, you know, her leaving if you do her entire storyline, they walk that back. They're like, actually, if you do her quest, if you do her mission like 10 times in a row, you can recruit her back. Completely destroying any kind of emotional impact that part might have had. And also, it's very important that you get to watch her, like, dance around and frolic while she's in the shower. It's very important. It's required for the plot. Anyways, we got another seed to run. I generally do 2 seeds as long as they don't take forever. This one's 075. This one is 086. Reset the clock. You will be ashamed of your words and deeds, says guy who made sure that you get to see Quiet get very wet and damn near naked at every opportunity. MGS, like, gameplay-wise, MGS 5 was fantastic. I played through it a while back. Was it last year or the year before, but... Do you think you could get away with having a mechanic force you to kill and isolate everyone who speaks a specific language? I mean, in real life? I don't think you could engineer a virus to do that. But fortunately, you have people with... Oh, in another game. I mean, if it's a video game, yeah. Like, the concept of fantasy exists, you can just say it's magic. It's a magic spell that if you utter the words of this tongue, it kills you. It's also very, very good magic, so it can tell if you're trying to write it down, too. It'll know. Don't even try and use auto-fire. Oh no, Quiet was... There's no way that Quiet was anything but he horny. He's very horny. It's a female character in one of my video games, which means I have to be able to have a special sequence where you get to see them undressed for reasons. So I'm trying to think, like, MGS1 had the part where if you go back in the vent, you can see Meryl in her underwear. MGS2... Oh, right, they didn't do anything with Emma because she was a lot younger. That would have been very creepy. MGS3, obviously, Eva. Admittedly, that's kind of her point. Like, she's, you know, from the charm school. She's meant to be seducing you into giving up your information. Well, the boss only really shows her scars at the end of the game, right? And yeah, 4 is just... the, what is it called? The Beauty and Beast girls or whatever it's called. Yeah, Fortune was just walking around in a bodysuit. Because she's lucky, so she doesn't actually have to wear armor. And then Peace Walker has the really fucking weird dates with Paz. One part I'd be fine with them getting rid of for the remake, especially knowing what happens later. You're gonna send me a dim? Oh shit. Is it a time-sensitive dim, or do I have to... Can I look at it later? Press it sight unseen. I'm very curious now. I'm not gonna say what's in it, but I'm very curious. But Doc, I have Ule on my soundboard. I can just Ule whenever I want. Oh right, I don't actually go up here. I appreciate the enthusiasm. It's not due, it's ule. Due is two in Italian. Yeah, keep the stuff with Miller. Get rid of the stuff with pause. We don't need the stuff with pause. Also get rid of the stuff where, you know, again, this hypothetical Peace Walker remake. Get rid of the stuff where every female character in the model viewer, you get to see them in their underwear. It's very important that you get to see Amanda and Strangelove in their underwear because reasons. Actually, not gonna go this way. But only the girls, not guys. You can dress up Snake in his... Actually, does he ever go down to underwear? Like, I know he can take his shirt off. But I don't think you can ever get him quite to the same level of undress as you can the ladies in Peace Walker. Yeah, like, you can take the shirt off, but, like... You can't have him running around in, like, lingerie. There might be, I don't know. Like, Paz, obviously, yes, it is revealed at the end of the game she is not just a teenager, she's just a very short queen, but... Probably not something that you should tell the people beforehand. Before you do the mission where you get into a box with her and then... Date complete. This one's for you, Doc. Your enthusiasm is noted and respected. Actually, should I use the Cestus? Yeah, probably. Peace Walker does have Speedos? Okay. Still, get rid of the pause date mission. That doesn't need to be there. I still haven't played Death Stranding. Apparently the director's cut makes it a lot better, but the one that they gave out for free was the regular version. I think they gave away the director's cut accidentally for like an hour on EGS before they fixed it, but yeah, I haven't actually played Death Stranding. I know you can make Norman Reedus piss and he gets upset if you watch him. I'm not sure that so much female gaze is just Kojima having a thing for Norman Reedus, if I'm being honest. He just really wanted to make a game where you get to watch his best friend Norman Reedus take a piss. Yeah, the Kojima gaze. Alright, come on. Gotta do this more consistently. I'm still stinking at this. Sit down and drill staircase jumps for 200 hours. That'll be fun. One more. Okay, that wasn't good. If I start going down the stairs, it's not good. Hey, there we go. All that for a strawberry. Probably should play Death Stranding at some point. I'm gonna be honest, I know very little about what goes on in that game aside from the little bits and pieces I've seen here and there, like apparently Conan O'Brien shows up at some point. You can carry a comical amount of stuff and basically tip over. I've heard it's a little polarizing, yeah. Like if you're down with like kind of open exploration, just kind of exploring a landscape and not necessarily like hardcore stealth action like MGS. People collectively turns Conan's house into a toilet. Honestly, I feel like that's pretty on brand. No. Everybody goes to Conan O'Brien's house to piss. Because it has, like, online integration and stuff, too, right? Yeah, I think a lot of people were probably expecting, like, MGS5 again, which... no. Let's see what's... biggest adversaries tripping on rocks. Yeah, like, I was talking about this earlier, MGS5 in terms of, like, the gameplay is fantastic. Like, I wish they had done a little more with it. Because, like, there were some parts that felt a little underbaked, like the whole thing where you get the walker gear, and it's like, oh cool, we have our own Metal Gear now, we can customize it and send it into fights, and then you never get to interact with it in the game. It's just in the background. Like, Zeke you could at least fight. You know, you could install the AI boards on Zeke, and you could customize Zeke, and if you were on the PSP version, you could even download the Vocaloid stuff and customize Zeke even more, but the walk or the battle gear is just kind of there. They could, I don't know. I think they could have done stuff like in a really stupid way, have like enemy Metal Gears show up almost, and kind of have, like, deploy your own battle gear. Like, have that kind of stuff going on in the big open world stuff where they're on bases set up. What's wrong with the grapes? What's wrong with the grapes? How quickly we forget Grape Crystal. Knockoff attempts at a Metal Gear. You're thinking of Excelsis from Metal Gear Rising. That when it's actually in the game lore, how it's not actually, like, classified as a Metal Gear, but they just called it that because it would sell better. Which is kind of a fun little reference to Metal Gear Rising itself. Probably was not originally meant to be a Metal Gear game, but it's like, oh, let's tie it into Raiden. He does sword thing. I'm sad we never got Revengeance 2. Probably never going to happen. Also probably can't use Quentin Flanagan for his voice for reasons. Beloved voice actor for video game from the 2000s challenge, Don't Be a Creep, failed. I don't know if Kojima's ever gonna go back to Metal Gear. Like, it's not even that it has to be Kojima, like, it could be, you know, give it to Platinum again, it's just... I don't know that they want to touch anything Metal Gear related outside of, like, specifically they're doing Delta. I feel like I haven't, like, Platinum has not been doing so hot in terms of, like, putting out bangers anymore. I mean, people enjoyed his voices, like he did, what's his name? Axel in Kingdom Hearts 2, he was Raiden, obviously. Maybe it took people a while to have Raiden start growing on them, but eventually he got there. Alright, should I just use the S-Dock? Can I jump cancel this? Okay, I can. Yeah, Bayo 3 apparently wasn't great, and, you know, there's that big controversy about it. May not have ended up being true. I don't know anymore. I don't know what ended up with the result of that. Well, it wasn't specifically that you were supposed to hate Raiden. It's that originally they wanted him appeal more to female fans, which is why they had kind of like a more conventionally beautiful dude as opposed to Snake, who was like, you know, gruff grr, angry guy. But I think the problem is in MGS2, a lot of people were wanting to play as... They were expecting Snake again, and it turned out it wasn't Snake. There's also supposed to be the whole commentary on how in MGS2 it's like kind of a cycle, the exact same thing happening over and over and over again. Like, I think it was Metal Gear 2, MGS 1, and Metal Gear Solid 2, where you basically did the exact same story 3 times. Yeah, I think Kojima's pretty dang busy with Death Stranding, because 2's coming out at some point. Would not expect a Kojima-directed Metal Gear anytime soon. I have another black cloak. I think my favorites... Weirdly enough, my favorite line from MGS2 is the bit with, like at the very beginning where Raiden is just like, "Did you say nerd?" Node, not nerd. Oh. That's it. It's just... Doesn't lead to anything, it's just Raiden mishearing him saying node as nerd. Overstepping bounds that draw attention to the fact that VAs are usually very underpaid. Jennifer Hale's a union VA, so Platinum wasn't certain that... Okay, so yeah, it was, she was not happy with the amount she was making, basically. And decided she wanted to, try and score some support. So I remember hearing people, like, initially were supporting Helena Carter, or whatever her name was. Was it Helena Carter? And, the sentiment shifted once it was discovered that she was not actually telling all the truth. One important thing. You kind of have to tell the truth if you want to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. I get double jump soon. I was gonna say, it's not here. It's strange. Actually, Trumper too? Fantastic. Okay. Let's swap that out. Oh no, I had the Crimson Cloak, not the black one. Very slightly better. I think I just keep Lilith for now. At the very least, yeah, we get to potentially get the item down here immediately. Making games is hard. Making games and keeping the companies and the people making them happy is also very hard. What if Kojima just had $1 billion and just got to make whatever the hell he wanted? Actually, gotta remember to dip into the side room too. Oh no, wait, no, I can't get that. Skirt, skirt. Unrelated to anything else, but I tried the new episode in the Doom 1 and 2 update they pushed a while back, a few days ago. Okay, this has got to be double jump. There we go. The new episode is fun, but I feel like the difficulty is kind of all over the place. Like, I'm playing on Ultra Violence, which maybe I shouldn't have, but... I don't mind the game pushing back a little bit, but it feels... sometimes, I don't know. Maybe they just assumed, like, you know, people have had 30 years to play this since I think it was like, what was the most recent, like, official Doom release? Because I know they did one with the Unity port of Doom. I don't know if that came with any new episodes, though. 'Cause that's kind of the big thing, is that this is like an official release with collaboration from people who worked at id. Night Dive, I think, worked on the new episode as well. No, that's what I'm talking about. Hold on. Unless you're talking about the Unity version, which I believe was a few years ago, I want to say. It's very funny, though, looking at the game and seeing, like, Doom 2 has 800 megabytes to update. Like, really? Doom? Well, Sigil 2 isn't done yet, right? Oh, it's Sigil, yeah. Sigil 1. I don't know if Sigil 2 is out yet. If it is, I probably need to try that as well. She going. She going. There she goes. What's up here, anyways? Casual clothing. Sigil 2 is done? Okay. It's another one I gotta try then. Hey Chad, have you ever played myhouse.wad? Have you ever played Brutal Doom? I am glad at least that My House is kind of replacing Brutal Doom for the people who are not normally playing Doom, paying attention to it. I do like the music in Legacy of Rust, like from what I've heard so far. I haven't finished the episode, but I'm enjoying it. I'm glad that they made new stuff instead of just, you know, the same Doom songs again. Apparently it's got new weapons as well, like there's a bunch of new monsters, but... Yeah, Dubs, you're playing like Gorilla from PSVTC. The new monsters are cool, though. I kind of like the Banshees because, like, they're very dangerous if they get close to you, but at the same time, it's like... They basically just like flying rockets that you can explode prematurely. Very slow flying rockets that home in on you. Placement for Plasma Gun, BFG, they both suck? Really? That's a bummer. Well, the Doom 1 and 2 thing, it's... I believe they're putting it on a new... Like, it's on a new engine now. And then on top of... They added in, you know, the new episode. But then they added in, like, a bunch of support for, like, multiplayer stuff. They added a bunch of previously unreleased, like, concept art and stuff. AAA Hexen reboot. Actually, I can get this item now. I don't know if the world is ready for Hexen. Oh, I don't like this. Definitely don't like getting knocked all the way down. Well, technically, Heretic 3 would just be Hexen 2, right? Because Hexen was Heretic 2. I remember trying to play Hexen, I was just like, I can't get into this. Oh, there was a Heretic 2? Okay. I was mixing them up. But yeah, I tried to play a little bit of Hexen, couldn't really get into it. From what I understand, it gets very, very key hunty at some point. Yeah, it aged. Heretic 2, was it a third-person game? Like, I know Strife had RPG stuff as well, but I never played Strife. What you got, Hammer? Got some nice weapons. afford... Because if I sell this guy... Yeah, I think I'm just going to buy Mistletoe. No, not Mistletoe, Levitine. Calbolg is also good, but it's way less usable for the rest of the game. I'll buy some pudding. Beef curry is really good at healing, actually. I'll buy some grapes, too. Let's buy the cap with a sprite that Dubs hates. Just fill up completely on poorly sprited grapes. A lot of cream soda. Why? What was Dracula cooking? No, actually, what was Dracula cooking? I want to know. Oh, no! I forgot the stinky little bare hand attack. Here we go. Ah, I can ride a bike again. Alright, I don't have kick. Do I have Undyne? I do not. So we're gonna say if I had Undyne, I could jump into the ceiling and ride the reservoir entrance, but I don't really want to do that. What's this again? This is just coffee. It's just coffee. So I got the slide, which means I get to go right over to servants' quarters, which is nice. We love that. I also want to play through the original Doom episodes with the remix soundtrack. Oh, you hear that Doom game? It got a new soundtrack, eh? By Andrew Hulshult. Amy Hennig with the writers on Forspoken. So yeah, I write books now. Okay, so we're doing this now. I just shot a fireball. So yeah, I do magic now. I shoot fire from my hands. What of it? Ugh. Joss Whedon just like... Joss Whedon made media very rough for a while, because everybody has to fucking quip now. Like, it's fine to quip as long as they're good. The quip's gotta be good. And they can't be after anything happens. If somebody just quips after everything, then it just becomes expected. Like, everybody just groans and rolls their eyes and waits for the quip so they can immediately delete it from their memory. They don't really have any good bullet souls. Help, help, he's doing Haunted Days on me. I could probably try and, like, be fancy and jump. Actually, this is fine. When he's doing that attack, he doesn't really move forward. It's just the other ones I gotta watch out for. Tsuchinoko Ryo. I still think my favorite, was it Germa or Vinny who was playing that one game where you take pictures and like rearrange the environment? Just they immediately started launching into a did you just capture time? And immediately, like, frame 1 has the options menu open, going to put the voice dialogue back down to 0. Oh no, for sure, but like he did writing for the Marvel movies, right? Like he just made quipping mainstream, and I hate him for it. How dare you? It's not enough to let something happen, you have to observe it. If I don't observe what's happening, if I don't tell everybody I've observed what's going on, they're not going to understand. They're not going to be able to take in the gravity of a situation for themselves. They need an exclamation point. They need something to end the sentence with so they know it's their turn to laugh. It's a laugh track for the modern age. I say that like they stopped using laugh tracks. I still use laugh tracks. I remember when they put in laugh tracks for cartoons and like really, really old ones. I remember as a kid sometimes I would just see like episodes of Flintstones where there was just a laugh track, or I think the Jetsons had it too. Like, why is there a laugh track? They did not play this in front of a live studio audience. Scooby-Doo, I think, kind of got away with it because Scooby-Doo kind of was the progenitor of every single cartoon for quite a while. Because Scooby-Doo was, like, obscenely popular. Scooby-Doo did so well that, like, everybody was trying to make their own version of Scooby-Doo in hopes of making a quick buck. Everybody was doing, like, a team of teenagers and a funny talking animal. They tried so hard to make more Scooby-Doos outside of the actual, like, Scooby-Doo, and it just never really took off the same way Scooby-Doo did. I want to say it was Doc Future made it, like, a really good post on all the Scooby-Doo ripoffs. I could be wrong, though. Rock Dude as a sapball. Because how will I know? How will I know something big happened, Dubs? Nobody quipped. Hanna-Barbera. Yeah, because they were really trying to just, you know, get the lightning in a second bottle. But it turns out that you just had to solve mysteries and have a dog that says Ruh-roh. There's one really good bit in Scooby-Doo where, like, there's a sign that says, like, Word Rebel, Rots of Ruck, and he just says completely clearly, like, uncharacteristically clearly, "Third level, lots of luck." And Shaggy's just like, "What did you say, Scoob? You can do that?" That was a good bit. I think the other reason the other cartoons didn't do as well is because they didn't have John Cena. Yeah, I've heard Mystery Inc. is really good. Scooby-Doo was always kind of in the periphery as a kid of like, oh yeah, there's reruns running. There's always some flavor of Scooby-Doo running at some point on one of the networks that shows cartoons. Alright, that's Stinky. We don't need that uncurse. Might actually be spoiled milk, I'm not sure. Now we go to Floating Garden. For some reason I remember, like, they showed 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo a lot. I believe they actually did finally make a like a finishing movie for the entire thing, because the series never actually finished. Like, they never kidnapped, or they never captured all the ghosts again. I was about to say kidnapped. Kidnapped the ghosts. But yeah, like, they never actually got the 13th ghost, so it was always like this big cliffhanger, and obviously Vincent Price being gone made it a lot harder to finish the series. There's kind of like a weird crossover, yeah, because like they just had templates for a lot of things for like cartoons and stuff, so we'd just be like, oh, we need a goofy pseudo stoner kid voiced by Casey Kasem. Technically, I mean, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, Inspector Gadget was technically an anime, right? So that was done by a Japanese studio, if I remember. Was that also TMS? I think the first one that I remember technically was Maya the Bee. But I wasn't aware of like the concept of like Japanese animation with its own kind of idiosyncrasies and such until Sailor Moon. Inspector Gadget, was it really supposed to be a Lupin spinoff? That's funny. Rune Ring. Actually, Dryad's a pretty solid soul, too. Actually, no, I think the very first one probably for me would have been Astro Boy. I have a Betamax tape somewhere of like my sister. She recorded the old My Little Pony episodes. Or I think it was one of the movies, like the original series, not the new one, obviously. Yeah, there was a commercial for Astro Boy, so that probably would have been the very first one that I watched. I didn't see Speed Racer until, you know, the mid-90s, I think. Inspector Gadget in the future. Oh, it started as development as spin-off set in the future before it turned into Inspector Gadget. That's funny. Oh, the famous blade known as Graham. God, I'm just thinking about the live-action Inspector Gadget movies now. Your first anime was Akira? Damn. Who wrote Tsukidoji? I've heard the name before, which is... I've never actually seen it, but apparently it is very, probably not for kids. Skella. I do! There were 2 live-action Inspector Gadgets. Because it was Matthew Broderick who did the first one, and then was it French Stewart who did the second one, or was he the bad guy in Inspector Gadget 1? The tentacle series that was commonly placed in for kids. Ah, okay. Oh, it's animation. It's cartoons. Kids love it. French Stewart was the second Inspector Gadget. God. I'm always gonna be reminded of the part where the fucking fake Inspector Gadget head flying off. I just remember that one bit. I got Boogie 498 teeth. Holy shit. I have to stop thinking about the live-action fake Inspector Gadget. Okay, I'm running into spikes now. Man, what has French Stewart been up to recently? I hope he's doing alright. I hope he's doing alright, unless he's one of those, you know, awful celebrities who's gone off and spouting, like, anti-vax shit, in which case, fucking French Stewart. He got franced. Did he? Did he actually move to France? That's funny. Well, like, the concept of quote-unquote anime was not really, like, much of a thing until the mid-90s. In terms of, like, you know, the North American view. Like, obviously, yes, anime has existed for a while. But in terms of, like, people actually recognizing, like, oh, this is a cartoon that's from Japan with a specific type of style, you know? Yeah, Japanimation. Anime/Japanimation, depending on who you talk to. I think my video store, I think at Blockbuster Video, they called it Japanimation. Can I Dryad your scythe? I can. God, I keep getting juggled. Keep getting chomboed. Well, in the US you had Toonami, which was specifically a showcase of, like, Japanese anime. Because on YTV, like, we got Sailor Moon, we got Gundam Wing, but it wasn't specifically like, you know, we have an anime block or anything like that. It was just like, here's some cartoons, we think they're cool. And then there was stuff like, you know, Voltron as well, which was several anime. Yeah, we had Bionics, which was kind of like the anime block on YTV, but that wasn't until the 2000s. Because, like, we got Sailor Moon back in, like, 94, 95, I want to say? Yeah, there was a CG Voltron. I want to say, was that by the Reboot people? Was that by Mainframe? Gladiator. Oh no, they did, I know they did the Transformers. I think they also did, like, some weird cartoon called War Planets. Something like that. Teletoon was weird because they were showing, like Wings of Hanaemes, they were showing Macross Plus, they were showing Pat Labor, they showed Ninja Scroll super late at night, and then they just kind of stopped doing that for a while. Like, I think they were doing kind of an experiment, and then they just were just like, yeah, it's not worth the effort. So we didn't really get any more anime on Teletoon until it was Cardcaptor, I think. Cardcaptor Sakura. I think YTV got Escaflowne. Originally I was going to say that was Teletoon, but no, that was YTV, I think. Alright, now we go to Reservoir. Yeah, I never saw Akira until well after, like, I was, you know, fully aware of what anime was. Wasn't quite super available from where I was. I know they had, like, a couple of Japanimations at the Blockbuster, but I think it was, like, I want to say that all I remember was Bubblegum Crisis. I don't remember any of the other stuff. Because my parents already rented, like, Nintendo games for us. There was no way they were spending their video rental on a cartoon for us, you know? So I've never actually seen Bubblegum Crisis, but I remember it being on the shelves. The baby scene of Akira. That would be an interesting thing to just like flip into as a kid. Nintendo, 2 cereals in 1, wow. I also remember this one, like, I've never actually seen Robotech, but I remember it was like the United Nations made a Robotech commercial at some point. I think it was the United Nations, I'm pretty sure. Robotech, another one of those, what's it called? Those anime chimeras, like Voltron. Actually, I'm gonna go in from this side. I never actually had the Nintendo cereal, I just remember the song. Because, yeah, Robotech was also a bunch of franchises stitched together for an English release. PBA. I know they made, actually, did they ever release the N64 Robotech game? So I remember they made all the enemies crystals because it was going to be a lot easier to model, like, very simple geometric shapes as opposed to complex mechs. So that's why all the enemies in Robotech on N64 were just going to be crystals. But yeah, Harmony Gold, they bought the rights and they sat on those rights. I've never seen Robotech, but I'm well aware of the hate that everybody has for Harmony Gold. Oh, big. Osafune would have been good at the start, but now we got Levitain. We're good. Actually, no, hold up. There's a treat down here. If I can... There we go. Now. It's a Mimic treat. It's a treat of Mimic. Chat, it was a treat of Mimic. Oh, do they fuck around with Battletech because it sounded kind of like Robotech? But yeah, I remember, like, they were very, very... like, restrictive with the rights, and if you wanted to do anything with them, they just asked for a completely stupid amount of money. Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for the live action Sailor Moon forever ago. Oh, Battletech did rip off Macross. Maybe that's why. I know I'm losing time, but I really needed a sip of water. No! My boat gone. Boat gone, make plate breaking noise for some reason. Yeah, I saw the full pilot when it got discovered. My fine ceramic boat. No cleave solution, this one. Category of mechs called Unseen, which are... Oh, because of the copyright stuff. That makes sense. Wow, it's that incredibly powerful mech that we can't show. It's just off screen. Wow. I mean, I don't think it was so much, like, was it Sailor Mercury, her being in a wheelchair? I don't think it was so much that. It was more just, like, they were taking a series that was very Japanese and trying to Americanify it. Like, I remember the dub for Sailor Moon as well tried to trim down as much of the Japanese as they could. Despite the fact that, you know, Rei works in a shrine. I don't remember what they tried to explain that as. If they just called it a shrine, or if it's just like, oh, she helps out at the local nature preserve or something like that. There's Hippo. Hippo. I mean, okay. Serena kind of works as the name. As a variant on the word Selene for, like, the goddess of the moon. I feel like that actually kind of works. Darien, maybe not so much. Darien's like if you heard Endymion and you had like something in your ear, so you didn't really hear it that well. You're like, Ami just became Amy. Rei is just Rei. I know Makoto, they changed her to Lita. I don't remember what they named the other Sailor Scouts. I think Hotaru kept her name, but everybody else got different names. Yeah, Rini's just like a diminutive Serena, which makes sense. Honestly, I feel like if they had just named her like Bunny or something like that, because that's her name in Japanese, Usagi, it might have felt a little too silly. I don't know. Yeah, Chibiusa is literally just Tiny Bunny. It's one of those changes that maybe wasn't the most elegant, but in their defense, it was the mid-90s, and the fact that they at least tried to keep some of them at all was good. I do remember playing the translated ROM of the Sailor Moon RPG and be like, what the fuck is a Barazuisho? Because they used all the Japanese names in that ROM, so it wasn't, you know, it wasn't Serena, it was Usagi. It wasn't the Silver Crystal, it was the Barazuisho, or whatever it was called. I will give props to the Sailor Moon RPG for making one of the very few RPGs where you get to go to Canada. Because one of the parts of the plot of the Sailor Moon RPG is that, like, they send off the, oh god, I don't even remember their names, what they were called. The four dudes that defended Queen Beryl originally and were originally good guys. They their crystals are sent off to different parts of the world to guard, and one of their crystals is in Canada. And I feel like that might be the only time I've been to Canada in an RPG. God, I do kind of miss the days of, like, the Wild West of just, like, having a ton of, like, video games and ROMs that I've never seen before. Who wants copyright on Canada? Colin Mockery. He's pretty lenient about using it, though. Yeah, we have Abigail, we have Sasquatch. I feel like there might have been another Canadian fighting game character at some point. It's just not a very popular region. I'm sure there's like a bunch of indie games, like RPGs and such, that take place in Canada, but I guess Scott Pilgrim? Scott Pilgrim technically counts as it's not really an RPG, but it is kind of it's a beat 'em up, I guess. Canadian yokai, we had a local yokai, but I don't really want to talk about it because it's potentially doxing me. Is Ogopogo... I don't remember if Ogopogo is Canadian or from the States. Ogopogo is Ontario? Okay. So I was gonna say, that's probably like the closest Canadian yokai I can come up with at the top of my head. Does the hockey sweater from the story, The Hockey Sweater, count as a yokai? Want to get some health back. Actually, I might as well save too. I think I remember there was like... Actually, no, I'm thinking of a different game. I mean, Toho, you can make whatever, basically. This game is good. Wait, I checked this already, didn't I? Yeah, why am I going up here? Aria of Sorrow, I think, is the best, I think it's just the best Metroidvania. Like, Symphony of the Night is great until you get to the halfway part and you do the inverted castle. Sorry, the inverted castle, it's cool the first time you do it. I think some people have tried to do, like, you know, North American Toho derivatives. I feel like I've heard of that before, but you want to be careful with it because a lot of it just ends up becoming like, oh, let's just take, you know, Native Americans and First Nations people's beliefs and use them as our stuff. You gotta be careful. Onikiri should hit. Medusa head. Yeah. The other thing with Symphony of the Night, its movement tech is a lot more painful to do than this game, where you just hold down R once you get Black Panther. So you have to do Wing Smash, which is like a 270-degree rotation of your controller. Kind of isn't very fun. Saban Americanized Toho. Well, Reimu would become... What would be her American name? You would have Mary Hackaway. No, Mary. Yeah, Rebecca. The last names are still the same, but the first names are Americanized. You can't call Marissa Mary because there's already a Mary. Her name in the mystery, Rachel Hartway. Oh my god. Melissa. Anna's in Nykel. Now I'm remembering that one translation of Romance of the Three Kingdoms that gave American names to every character. And like Lubu was like Bunning Lundmark or something. I don't remember what his name was, but it was something goofy like that. Wheel. They also have to remove any kind of reference to Japanese culture, so Reimu doesn't work at a shrine anymore. She works at a, would she just be, like, a volunteer at a church or something? How would we do that? Oh, it's one of the translation options you could do, the automated translator? Hell yeah. Yeah, Tyson Beyblade had a lot of dub-ass names. Papa Swamp. Okay, that's not good. That's got a bad mouthfeel. Like, it's got to be an actual name, not just like, ah, funny pun. Like, I know Mega Man Battle Network, they called the Frog Girl reporter Rabita. Actually, what am I doing? I could just Manticore the shit out of you now. Could have always Manticore the shit out of you, actually. I don't know why I didn't. Arisu. Yeah, she's the exchange student from Japan and everybody else is American. Is that my first book? No, we have this one. Creature mass-produced from the... Creature... Yeah, that's Medusa Head. This one is... Cotton Lake. That oozes from the corpses of men with regrets. Okay. So we don't have ectoplasm, we do have Medusa Head. Arist. Okay, how else getting juggled in this room? Get him, Wheel. We'll see you later, ha 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 ha. I'm quipping! Mods, this man's quipping! Toho honestly does have some weird names, though, even like Alice Margatroyd, Patchouli Knowledge, Nicatia Lapis Lazuli. Alright, I already checked this, didn't I? Yes, I did! Yeah, Medicine Melancholy. Yeah, people translate Maribel like as Maribel, but the kana just says Mary Beatty, which is closer to Mary Berry. So what is it? Which is it, Zoom? How many berries have you married in your lifetime? Oh no, I know Zune had like a lot of references to Agatha Christie in his older games, but Still an odd name. People still have not figured out how they want to... Like, people have kind of settled on CIRNO, but like... Is it Chill No? Is it Chur No? Oh, what am I doing? Black Panther, Giant Bats. Fight over with all the haters. Thankfully, Zune did not use the original title for "And Then They Were None" in his game. It's in the same category as H.P. Lovecraft's Cat, if you want to look it up for yourself. Yeah, Rumia was probably meant to be Lumia, because the whole thing about light and darkness, but the people have decided. Some people will probably still be very obstinate and continue to use stuff like Frandal for Flandre. Copy. There's also the longest time people used, like, Yamazanadu for Shiki's name. They use that as her last name, when it's actually her job title. Ah, it's you, John Middle Manager. Do I have any multi-hit weapons? Onikiri should work. What are you? Oh, Kicker Skeleton! Yeah, it's just Shiki Aki. She's the Yama of Xanadu. Maji? Honto? Are you being Honto right now? Are you Majiing me? I mean, in their defense, it was too racist. It was too racist. You simply cannot call a book that anymore, not due to woke, but because we have advanced as a people. Ow. Nobody look, I'm gonna do a trick. Ectoplasm? Yum. Chat, does he know? Alright, you can look again. I've done my trick. Alright, let's go kill Balor. I don't remember if I can actually hit him with Manticore. I'll try. Ah, a little too short. Actually, I don't think I need Skulla for a bit. I don't really have a lot of great yellow souls. Yeah, Gladiator's my best damage for, like, individual hits. Actually, no, Levitane's probably better for, like, individual smacks. Gladiator I have to aim and I'm only gonna get, like, a single hit off of it. I'm doing this boss fight badly. I need to get you to second phase, please. Please get to second phase, or failing that, drop the Cleave Salish for me. Okay. Not my best Balor. 10 Little Indians, I think, was the first alternative proposed. I think that was the nursery rhyme that they taught to kids after, you know, the first one. The first one, which, I'm not allowed to say the title of on screen to give you an idea. Even in the 90s, people were still saying, like, oh, you know, the Indians of North America. People were still absolutely using that. I'm gonna stop off at Hammers just because I should be able to hopefully buy some healing stuff. Because we should be good for the Julius and Graham fights once we get go mode. So I just want to grab a couple heals, a couple lotkeys. And yeah, the terminology is still used as well in certain things, like, I think, I want to say in Canada, actually, we have, like, certain bills called, like, the Indian Act and such. I have a lot of crap. Probably should have checked to see what you had first, but it's nothing like super incredible. Soul Eater Ring is one of those things that you never really get to buy. Yeah, Lovecraft was like a special kind of like, man, you're a little too racist. You're going in too hard with the racism. Which for his time was quite impressive. I mean, it's not that being, you know, looking back on the things that were okay. It's not that it doesn't excuse somebody, it just gives you a better reference as to what was considered quote-unquote acceptable of that time period. But yes, even for him, it was a little too much. History, like a lot of stuff that happened in history, kind of sucks, but it's important to know it so we don't make the same mistakes again. Those who forget the pasta are doomed to reheat it. That's how it goes, right? I said pasta like the most fucking North American accent. You want some pasta? Skittles? I mean, I can't tell you for sure whether or not he changed and grew because I didn't, you know, personally know him. Okay, there's the last book. Alright, what do we need? That is one of the... Yeah, that's one of the Dante's Inferno. Skull Milione. Not Scar Milione, it's Skull Milione. 1 million skulls. Yeah, there's always one Skittle stuck. He's eating too many. Shouldn't be eating him by the fistful, but he does. It's like, if somebody says they're sorry, that's all well and good, but you actually gotta actions speak louder than words, you know? How many content creators have been caught doing some really, really awful shit and be like, I'm sorry, and then they keep doing it. It's just a gamer word. They just slip out. Nope. That was weird. I tried to jump and hippogriff dash, but I guess I hippogriff dashed earlier. Alright, let's slap on Manticore. Even, like, separating art from artist, I don't think that really holds up anymore considering how much stuff there is. Like, it's so easy now to just find stuff from people that aren't awful. Obviously, yes, in Lovecraft's time it was a lot harder to seek out work like that, but now it's a lot easier. Alright, so we need Skull Milione. We need Medusa Head. And we need Ectoplasm. Sadly, I don't have the silver gun, so I don't get to clown on him. The funny haha, stand on the right side of the room and just blast him. God, am I really going to be using a gold plate by the end of the game? That's silly. Oh yeah, for sure. No, this cannot be. Graham, you're kind of a joke as a boss, but you got a really cool design. Oh hey, Soul Eater ring. You never get to buy it, but sometimes you find it. Blocking Nail is probably better for 3 extra defense. Sometimes you just completely no-sell a hit. The one downside about doing this time stuff is that I'm kind of forced to not drink water if I want to get a decent time. There are precious few situations where you get enough time to stop and take a sip. You could ride the Wrecking Ball. Oh, there's a... I want to say an old reference, but it's not that old, but it feels like it's been at least 10 years, right, since Wrecking Ball? I don't know that I like that. I don't know that it's been 10 years. Has it been 10 years? Chat, help. Chat, stop time, please. 50? No. Wrecking Ball is still recent, right? Wrecking Ball isn't retro. Mumbo number 5 was only 5 years ago, right? Oh right, I need to put Wooden Golem back on. So I've got the Rune Ring. 2013. 11 years. Goodness. Mumbo number 5 is like that, it's like Battleship Potemkin, where Lou Bega just requested that every 5 years it gets updated with a new orchestra. I mean, yeah, the PS2 is 23 years old at this point. I want to say it was 2001. Boule. Oh god. Wasn't sure if that could combo me. I think it might have been able to. Probably didn't need to use that potion, but I would rather be safe. Because So the MP regen of Manticore between Rune Ring and Wooden Golem, we have bonkers damage. Okay, yeah, we're fine. Well, I think for me, the one that got me, like, the first time was somebody mentioning that, like, when they would make jokes about the 70s on TV shows and you were growing up, it's kind of equivalent to making, now, to, like, people making jokes about the 90s, or the 60s, I guess, technically, because that was 30 years, Jesus. Black Panther. Couple more for you. Why not? My problem is I have all these sounds on my soundboard and I just never touch them. Because right now I'm trying to get my timer stuff done, but even then it's just getting into the mindset of, oh right, I just have a soundboard, I can make funny noise on demand now. You know, I could just do...
That's what we like to call big damage.
Like, I can just do all the references I would normally do anyways, but... Time for that 2000 show yet? No. I don't know that there's ever gonna be another that whatever show. I feel like that 70s show was kind of lightning in a bottle. Because they tried to do that 80s show and it failed pretty spectacularly. It was very much a one and done. Can you make 9/11 sitcom material? You could, but I don't think anybody wants to. Because, like, that would just turn into a very special episode, right? That would just be the very special episode of my, you know, 2000s life. They made the 90s show? Really? Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. They did, they tried to do, like, that 70s show again. Or not that 70s show again, but they got, like, the same couple of actors. Obviously, most of them had moved on or, you know, done the celebrity thing of becoming an awful person. Yeah, it's just people watching that 70s show when it aired. That's your 2000 show. Just somebody talking about, you ever notice how they update the license plate sticker for every new season? I thought that was cool. Alright, let me just get Manticore ready to go here as soon as we pop off. Like, at least that 90s show was kind of like a sort of direct continuation of that 70s show, as opposed to just that 80s show doing its own thing. But the problem is they didn't have a lot of the original actors back. They had only some. Like, I think the mom and the dad were back there. I think Danny Masterson... Is he still in prison? I want to say he's still in prison. He did some awful shit. I'm not talking about it on stream, but he did some awful shit. I feel like that was kind of the thing for like the past 10 years is like, oh, let's do a reboot. Let's do a reboot or a follow-up to our original show. They tried to do that with, like, Full House. I know they did Roseanne for one season, and then Roseanne did the Roseanne thing, so they just cut her out of the show. And they're just like, it's called The Connors now, and Roseanne is dead, and she's definitely not coming back this time. It's not a dream sequence like it was originally. She's actually dead. And apparently did very well. I don't know if it's still going, but... Big Bang Theory reboot in 10 years. They kind of did that with Young Sheldon. Ow. Well, it's not even American cable. Like, most of it was streaming services. Like, I don't remember if it was Full House. That was kind of the first, like, one that kicked off, or if it was Roseanne. Connors is still on. I mean, if it's working, you might as well. Old Sheldon, or just Sheldon. Oh, nice. Thank you, Blocking Mail. I think that might be the only time I've guarded something so far. I love you, Blocking Mail. Ow. Because, yeah, I remember Full House. I think they tried to make a Boy Meets World follow-up. I remember seeing that, and it was just kind of... It was alright. It wasn't really super well-received or anything like that. It wasn't, like, popping off.
Let's go.
This battle is about to explode.
Die.
There you go. Just making up for all the lost time I couldn't get during the runs.
Huh?
Oh, that wow was so quiet. I'm gonna modify that. 118. Girl Meets World had a super ableist episode about autism. Because that's not even like an old show, that's like a very recent one. We need a reboot. Like an actual one and not the Guardian code. I don't know what they were thinking with Guardian code, man. What if we made this show that was, you know, renowned for its 3D animation in a time when 3D animation was not at all common? And they were just like, let's just make it mostly live action. People will love that. I remember seeing commercials for Zix, but I never watched it. Oh yeah, Soma hasn't waken up yet. Did I skip this? Oh no, I already skipped it and then you get to this part. Or maybe since I advanced dialogue, I can't do it. What was that show recently with a surgeon meltdown? Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I couldn't tell you the name. Code Lyoko, but Canadian half-live action. I was gonna say you described Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, but that was not Canadian if I remember. Because that was back when Power Rangers was super popular. They were trying to just make anything that was the same. They tried to bring over a couple different Sentai shows. Like, they tried to do, obviously, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. They tried to do, Kamen Rider. Oh, right, they did Mystic Knights of Tir Nanog. I feel like there were more. Oh, right, VR Troopers. VR Troopers, which I still remember the cast all getting drunk and dubbing over one of the episodes because they knew they weren't going to get renewed, so they just recorded one and put it on YouTube. Or not on YouTube, but it got put on YouTube at some point. And you. That's what it was, the Good Doctor. Oh yeah, Big Bad Beetleborgs. The guy that looks like Jay Leno. Oh man. Wait, they called SSSS Gridman because of Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad? That rules. Aside from Power Rangers, though, that's kind of the only one that really caught on. To their credit, they kept doing Power Rangers for a really long time. The only thing I really remember, like, I could tell you the vague outline of Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Like, you know, you got these teens with attitude, and they beam into a computer to defeat the evil Kilo Khan. But I couldn't tell you, like, any of the plot besides that. But I do remember one of the dudes just having a line that stuck with me, just dude screaming out, "Yeah, kick him in the credenza!" And that line always stuck with me. And now you know it. I don't know who spoke the line. I think it was the weird, goofy guy that wasn't the leader of the team. But that's all I really remember about Superhuman. Oh, that's right! Kilo Khan was voiced by Tim Curry, wasn't it? They got some talent on that show. I never saw Guyver, but I know David Hayter was like a big fan. Like, I think his Twitter handle... Was it his Twitter that was Guyver Snake for a while? Ugh. Pretty good runs today. Much better than last time. We got runs that didn't take a full, like, hour and a half and have to be mercy killed, which is nice. Still not my fastest runs, but I'll take these over the last ones. God, the chat kind of went places today. We started with Warframe and then just kind of went into, like, you know, Lovecraft's Cat, Americanized anime dubs. Started going into Toku. All over the place. It's good, though. Aria streams are always good because it's relatively chill for me. I don't have to worry too much about routing. I've got most of it down. But yeah, that'll do it. Happy first day after Labor Day. You have to labor again, I'm sorry. Required by law. Hope you all have a nice rest of your day. I will be back on Thursday, because there are no holidays on Thursday. I'm gonna raid you all over to Tina. She's playing some Final Fantasy V. She is speedrunning a Final Fantasy V. I like how everybody makes the same reference whenever Labor Day rolls around. It is no longer Birthday, Labor Day. Oh god, the knocking stuff on Twitch is still popping up. Just get rid of it. Please get rid of the knock feature. I don't want to use it. But yeah, enjoy your day. Slash night, whatever time it is for you, I don't know. And I will see you all on Thursday. Take it easy.